let us be mentally prepared that Chinese New Year this year will not be the same as before, and we will have to be more disciplined in how we go about our daily activities and interactions.
Good evening. With Haryanto Demand, I'm Olivia Quay. We're coming to you live from the Straits Times newsroom.
From next Tuesday, January 26th, Singaporeans will see a tightening of COVID-19 restrictions just 1 month after the country moved into phase 3 of reopening. The multi-ministry task force said today that an increase in the number of local cases and clusters in the community are a real cause for concern.
Well, that's right. They observe that these new clusters reflect a degree of complacency among Singapore residents, with some patients continuing to go to work and mingle with the community despite the onset of symptoms. So, in order to reduce the risk of transmission, a household can only receive up to 8 per day from Tuesday.
This will apply to the upcoming Chinese New Year period as well. Now, like Olivia said, not only can you receive a maximum of 8 people a day, now when you go out visiting, you should limit yourself to visiting at most 2 households a day. Minister Lawrence Wong explains the rationale behind the new rule.
Compared to, say, a month ago, our vulnerability has increased. And the situation can escalate very rapidly, especially with the likelihood of more interactions and activities taking place over the Chinese New Year period. And we only need to recall what happened last year when we indeed saw a spike in cases after Chinese New Year, and we had many clusters linked to Chinese New Year gatherings. This was last year. We don't want a repeat of that happening, and that's why we are making a preemptive move now to tighten some of our measures.
Although gatherings outside in groups of up to 8 will still be allowed, Mr. Wong stressed that everyone should keep their social circles small. He also reminded diners that masks must be worn when not eating or drinking, adding that voices should not be raised at any time.
Well, this means that you have to wear a mask during Lo Hei and with no reciting of the usual auspicious phrases. Mr. Wong added that enforcement will be stepped up and strict actions taken against any individuals or businesses that flout the rules.
We know that dining out remains an activity that carries some risk because you are without your mask on and you are in a space with many people for some prolonged period of time. And we have to be especially careful during the Chinese New Year period. So if you are out in a restaurant and you want to order yishen, well, they may serve you the yishen, but during the Lo Hei, you have to keep your mask on, and there should be no shouting of auspicious phrases by the F&B staff or by the patrons in the restaurant. Likewise, for reunion dinners, you can go out to dine together as a family in a table of 8, but there should not be any multiple table bookings.
Well, with interactions likely to increase ahead of Chinese New Year as well, surveillance testing will be carried out for stall holders, shop owners and staff in the F&B industry, as well as food delivery workers operating in and around Chinatown. The testing will be done on February 8th and 9th.
Singapore will start vaccination for the elderly from this Wednesday, January 27th. It will kick off with pilots for between 5,000 and 10,000 seniors living in Ang Mo Kio and Tanjong Pagar.
2 vaccination centres will be set up at Teck Ghee Community Club and Tanjong Pagar Community Club by February the 1st. And seniors can make their appointments at polyclinics from this Monday.
The pilots will help the Health Ministry iron out operational processes before it proceeds to scale up nationwide with vaccinations progressively extended to all seniors from mid-February.
As and when the centres are ready, we will then send out letters to invite the seniors to come forward for vaccination. And we also will be setting up grassroots outreach programs to reach out to them to encourage them to make a booking for the vaccination. So after the pilot has started, within 2 to 3 weeks' time, we'll begin to roll out additional vaccination centres, and we'll start to vaccinate progressively the other parts of the island. Seniors is a very challenging group for us because many of them are staying at home. They don't come out because of the COVID-19 situation. So it's not so easy to reach out to them. And this is one of the areas that we want to also pilot in conjunction with the People's Association, how we can effectively reach out to this group of seniors to explain to them the process and to help them go through the process. The lessons that we learn from this pilot will then be implemented in subsequent vaccination efforts that we roll out.
Well, visit straitstimes.com for more details on today's press conference.
You can also watch the full press conference on our YouTube channel later tonight. Now remember to subscribe by hitting the red button below. I'm Haryanto Diman with Olivia Quay. Have a good night.